Hey everyone, so I am getting ready to go to the gym. I'm going to do back and biceps, and today I'm going to try doing some rack pulls. I've seen them done a lot, and I know they're really good for your back. Just never done them, so I'm going to give them a try today. Don't really know how it's going to go, but I can't imagine it can go all that bad. I'm just deciding whether I want them a little bit lower, like below my knees, or higher. I think I might try them out both ways and kind of see how I feel. I'm thinking I want to do them below the knees, and I think it's a really great way for me to focus on like the upper portion of my pull for my deadlifts. So I think I'm going to start with them a little bit lower. But we'll see how it goes when I get there, and hopefully the gym will be nice and empty when I get there. I'm going to go back to the gym that I used to go to all the time because I like pretty quiet there, and I can kind of focus more so on what I want to do. And then plus it's closer to shopping, so I can go shopping afterwards. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the gym. Alright, and so even though I wanted to jump right into the rack pulls, I decided it was a good idea to get my muscles warmed up and start off with the lat pull downs and cable rows. And for these movements, and actually a couple other movements in the gym, I've been focusing on actually holding it at the top of the movement and just making sure I hold that tension in the muscle. It's a good way for me to remember to actually make sure that I'm incorporating the right muscles and not just, trying to pull a whole bunch of weight. Because just sitting there at the cable, doing the cable rows and, trying to yank like 150 pounds is not going to do me any good if I'm actually incorporating more of my arms just so I can pull that weight. So yeah, for those movements, I do like to hold it at the top of the movement. It's just something that I've been incorporating a little bit more into my workouts. And so here I am doing the rack pulls. Not the best actual like rack station to do this. The heavier racks on the sides would have been better, but it still worked. So I had a lot of fun doing these the first time I've done these. And I actually started off with them a little bit higher for the first set or two, and I didn't really like it quite as much. And I found it to be a little bit more beneficial for me to have it set a little bit lower. And so I did quite a few. I can't remember exactly how many sets I did, but I did work my way up to 225 pounds at the end. Alright, and so the last exercise that I did for back was dumbbell rows. And I don't know if you guys just noticed that little grip that I was messing with on my hands. I forgot what they're called, but I love these things. I ordered them from Amazon a while ago to actually use them in CrossFit because I kept getting my hands torn all the time, and chalk, it's not all that great to use chalk when your hands are still really torn, and trying to wrap them was just a pain in the butt. So I bought these little grips to use as an alternative sometimes when my hands were like in between healing, when I was still trying to do pull-ups and a whole bunch of things that required kipping and stuff like that in CrossFit. But anyway, I use them in the gym now sometimes instead of gloves, especially when I'm doing like deadlifts and things where I can't use chalk because a lot of gyms, of course, they don't let you use chalk. I won't even get into that conversation. But they won't let you use chalk, so I use these little grips instead. They're awesome. Amazon, 20 or 30 bucks. They come in handy, and sometimes they're just a whole lot better to put on instead of gloves, because gloves are great, but at the same time they actually do get in the way. So sometimes I don't even use gloves anymore. But anyway, that was a side rant. So I moved on to biceps, and for biceps I decided to start off with 21s. Love these, hate them at the same time. But for the 21s, I ended up doing 4 sets of those, and then moved on to some seated hammer curls. Alright, and then I finished off biceps with cable curls, and I actually ended up doing drop sets toward the end. I ended up doing 3 drop sets, and I haven't done them in a while, so I was actually pretty impressed with how much weight I was pulling with that first drop. I believe I was at 80 or 90. I think it was actually at 90. So I was actually pretty happy with that. So yeah, that's how I finished off back in biceps. And I definitely really like the rack pulls. I'll be doing more of those. I'll just have to do them at the other gym where they actually have the more sturdy racks. But I can't complain because, at least those racks did hold up. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This was another awesome workout. Back in biceps is one of my favorite days. That and legs are my fave things to work out. And as always, comment, like, share, and subscribe. And also check me out on Instagram, Lift Heavy Kick Ass. I post there at least once a day, once every other day. And thanks again for your support, guys. See you next time.